All right, everyone, thank you for coming. We are going to be going over how you can create a social media content strategy that helps you get sales and what goes into creating a solid content strategy. We'll be covering all of that and growing your audience with that content strategy. So let's get right into it. First off, what is a content strategy? We're going to start right at the beginning with the basics. So basically, your content strategy is how you, one, plan content, such as putting together a bullet point list of topics. Two, create your content, which is putting together your social media content strategy, or excuse me, your calendar. Personally, I like to use a spreadsheet to collect all of my posts. Three, how you distribute content, whether that's posting your posts manually or loading them up into a social media scheduler. And four, how you manage your content across all your business channels, which includes responding to comments left on posts, correcting any errors that may have slipped through the cracks. We're only human, and so on and so forth. So essentially, your content strategy is your blueprint that uses content, i.e., your social media posts, to accomplish your business objectives and your audience's needs. Everyone wins. Essentially, you are putting out content that your audience needs to hear, and you are building an audience that trusts you because you have proven that you know what you're talking about. So let's start with the basics, some do's and don'ts for your content strategy. Your content should be fun. Talk directly with your viewers like I'm doing with you. Don't keep it dry. Don't, you know, just be boringly delivering a presentation or, just letting the presentation run without any voiceovers. Talk directly to your viewers. Even if there's 0 viewers, it's always good practice. And keep smiling. I'm sure you can hear the smile in my voice. Be excited about what you're talking about. Show people that you're enthusiastic and keep it relevant. So it's up to you to define what relevant is for your audience. Everyone has a different audience because we all work in different industries and have different company sizes. So a bit of research on your part is necessary to develop that content. So definitely keep your content lighthearted and strike that balance between conversational and informative. It shouldn't go too far in one direction or the other. And what I mean by that is that you shouldn't be getting so conversational and so easygoing that like you get off topic, you start chatting with your, audience for, several minutes, and next thing you know, 20 minutes have gone by and you haven't really covered anything else. But it also shouldn't be so informative that you are just like sounding like the most boring teacher and just delivering content in the driest way possible. Remember, you're not a college professor and you're not a talk show host. Find that balance in between those two things. So let's go over some don'ts. What shouldn't your content be? Your content strategy should not be dry, as we mentioned before. If you feel like you're giving a lecture, you're just giving information, you're just trying to get to the next slide, you're just trying to get through it as quickly as possible, your audience is going to pick up on that and they're going to feel bored. They're going to feel like a class full of students back in middle school listening to the most unenthusiastic teacher, and they're going to click off. Your content should also not be difficult to digest. Your audience is full of very busy people. We're all crazy busy these days, so definitely respect their time. Keep your content punchy, easy to absorb, and include pictures. Pictures always make it easier for people to absorb what you're saying. It gives them a quick visual aid, and it just makes it prettier, and it helps prevent your presentation from being dry too if you've got pictures. And if your content runs long, make it easy to skim. That's definitely more the case with long form Facebook posts. I'm sure you've seen those super duper long Facebook posts where people just post this whole long story with lots of paragraphs and lots of emojis. And I'm sure you've noticed that they keep their paragraphs shorter. There's a lot of single sentence paragraphs. So you're going to want to emulate that. Make sure that people can kind of scroll through it pretty quickly and still get an idea of what you're trying to say if you want to use long form content. So let's go over some ways that you can find content inspiration. So using AI is definitely one way you can find content inspiration. Probably a controversial take for some of you, but trust me, using AI is a great way to find inspiration, to get some ideas because AI scrapes the internet. It like looks at what other people are posting, what's trending, and it can collect all of that into an easy to read topic list for you. Um, Very easy, cuts out a lot of research time for you, and you kind of have another uh, program to bounce your ideas off of. You can also do some old fashioned searching on social media. I recommend doing both, using AI and searching on social media, because AI is not going to find absolutely everything. So there's nothing wrong with, scrolling on social media, checking out Facebook groups, seeing what people are saying, seeing the latest and greatest in your industry. So definitely a bit of auto research through AI as well as some manual research on your part are needed to build a solid content strategy. So, here are some examples to help you build your strategy because examples make everything easier. I love visual aids. So, let's go over some topic list examples. So, as you can see, these are pretty simple, straightforward bullet point lists. It doesn't need to have all the bells and whistles. I wanted to show you that you don't need a fancy program or this really complicated document for your topic list. In fact, the simpler the better. You want it to be an easy to refer back to item that you can look at a few times a month or even a few times a week, just to make sure that you're on track with your content strategy, and of course adapt it as necessary as well. And honestly, creating a topic list can be the hardest part because you are just getting started. But gotta dive right in and notice how the topics aren't all the same thing, but stay within the same theme. Basically, all of these topic lists, these sample ones that I've put together for beauty salon owners and social media management companies, they don't go over the same thing. Like, they're not all before and after hair transformations, they're not all color correction success stories, but all of these topics tie into your industry and your business. So you want to strike that balance between sharing content that will perform well without using the same topic over and over and over and over again. So now let's go over some social media calendar examples. So I am sharing two different examples here, Google Sheets and Trello. These are the two most common programs I've seen for planning out social media posts. I'm personally a fan of Google Sheets, but a lot of people find Trello to be even more organized and helpful. You don't really need to tie yourself to one specific program. If one's not serving you, move on to a different one. And there's way more than just these two that you can use. I've even seen people use like bullet points on a Word document. I mean, that's probably going to be tough, but like I've seen people do it. There's no one right way to make a content calendar. Do what feels right, see what works best for your team and your budget. If you have multiple people you're collaborating with, you know, find what's easiest, do what's easiest, because if you make this part difficult for yourself, you and your team, you're just not going to want to bother with it. You're just going to want to focus on working, and you're not going to put as many posts out as you should be. So, final thoughts. What matters most is that you're getting your name out there. So, that's the important thing with a content strategy. You're not just doing the shotgun approach and just, putting posts out there, no rhyme or reason to it, and, without any future planning. You want to focus on brand awareness and eventually building that audience that you can sell to. So, also don't be afraid of making mistakes. Definitely do not need perfection, because you can tweak your strategy as time goes on. And honestly, even if you do get it right the first time, you'll still need to tweak your strategy over time, because industries change, audience attitudes change, your own business is going to change, your team is going to change. So, flexibility is an absolute must. The way your content strategy looks now is going to look very different in 6 months. That's just the name of the game. You're going to need to adapt as trends come and go. Yeah, digital marketing requires quite a bit of flexibility. I would even change this from some flexibility to quite a bit of flexibility. So thank you, those of you that listened in. If you haven't joined already, please be sure to join my Facebook group, Entrepreneurs Building Leads with Digital Marketing. And this is a long, ugly URL, so I'm going to drop it in the comments below this video. There's the banner. And I'm also giving away a free booklet, How to Get Sales from a Loyal Audience, to further help you build an audience that you can sell to. And I will also drop the link to that below this video. Totally free download, by the way. It's like 10 pages long, very easy to get through, and it gives you some absolute must have tips.